Congratulations on this moment. I know even though you're young, you've been working towards this for a long time, so what's the feeling right now that it's official?
Yeah, I'm over the moon. Really happy to also get that contract. Very grateful for the opportunity from Dana, Mick and Sean. And I'm just happy that it's a true testament to all the work my coaches and teammates have put into me. So yeah, absolutely over the moon.
Yeah. What was the mindset as the fight was playing out? Because obviously she had kind of a tricky style, and I think you know what kind of fights that Dana is looking for here. So was there any frustration on your part of saying you're not giving me the kind of fight we need to have here?
No, at the end of the day, a fight's a fight. When I was going in there, I was just looking at it the same as I would any fight. Obviously, I wanted the finish. Always a bit disappointed if I don't get the finish, but at the same time, I've just beaten, the best girl outside of the UFC. So I can't be too hard on myself. And like I say, she's tough, well-rounded. So yeah, I'm happy that I got to show kind of a little bit of everything.
Were there any concerning moments in the submissions that she had? Or she kind of tricky underneath?
No, I was. She's a very strong girl, but I was calm in all the positions. I felt safe. I was talking to Jack earlier. Even the armbar, my elbow was passed. I felt like I was, I was strong. I just kind of had to play it sensible, make sure I didn't make any mistakes, let anything go by getting a bit reckless and excited, which I could definitely have a tendency to do.
And Dana said, clearly, hey, there are questions because you are so young. He's a little, worried how you'll make your way. How do you feel you stack up with USC level talent right now? And is it difficult to be as young as you are in this position?
I think I've just turned 21 a few weeks ago. There's girls my age in there, but at the end of the day, I'm always saying it's not about age necessarily in the sport. It's experience. I've been fighting since I was, MMA since I was 15. I turned amateur, so. I've been in there with the top girls in Europe. I've been fighting for many years, so I feel like I definitely could match up with. Well, I'm confident I fight anyone. It's for Jack and Uriah to decide who I fight, but I'll step in there with anyone as soon as they let me.
Nice. I was going to say, last thing for me, what is the ideal scenario for a UFC debut? I mean, right now it seems like there's only two places to fight, right? It's either Vegas or Abu Dhabi. Do you have a preference of which location or when you'd like to fight?
As soon as they'll let me in there, I'll get in there. I don't care where it is, I don't care who it is. I just want to get going.
Obviously, you're so young. Are you surprised it's come this early? You're in the UFC now at such a young age, just 21. Are you surprised that you got here so quickly?
So whilst we're on the topic of that, I've actually got 2 wins tonight. I made a bet 5 years ago with Arnold Allen as to who gets signed the youngest. I've won by, I think, 3 months. So. I know he's watching, so there you go. But no, I've always had the goal. I'm actually a little bit behind schedule. I haven't fought for 18 months, but I'm happy to finally got it done.
How much was the bet for?
Oh, just pride.
Oh.
Yeah.
To be fair, he was on Twitter saying sign you up, so he was conceding the bet already.
There you go. He knew.
You said you were behind schedule. Do you have a timeline in your mind, say when you want to fight for a title? Do you want to do some sort of Macy Barber thing where you're the youngest champion ever?
Not necessarily with that. I've learned to relax a little bit. Like I say, I've kind of learned that with this sport, a lot of stuff, there's a lot of variables that aren't in my control. So I'm learning to relax a little bit and just enjoy the process and go with the flow. So as I say, I just like to get in there as soon as possible and see how far I can take it and obviously how fast.
Congratulations.
Cory, Jim Greasauer, cage side seat right here in the middle.
Yep,
right.
I see.
So, not only to beat the top girl outside of the UFC, but to dominate and win it in every area, on the ground, on the feet. How does that feel? Just to not only know you didn't get the finish, but you definitely, clearly won every part of that fight.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely holes in the performance. I think we've already planned to go back to the hotel and watch it straight away. So I'm sure we'll pick that apart and get to work on it. But yeah, like I say, it was a great testament to obviously I'm working with the highest level coaches and training partners. So for me to put on a good performance, I'm really happy not just for myself but for them. Because I'm really appreciative for everything they do for me.
So then the follow-up is, where do you think you can get better? The most obvious area for you before you start.
There's room for improvements everywhere. I think I've finally got to show a bit more of my striking tonight, but again, there was definitely a few moments where perhaps I wasn't as switched on as I should be. Maybe shouldn't have sat in a guard as much. I knew she had a good guard game, but I have a terrible tendency. I like to leave my coaches on the edge of their seats and not necessarily listen to them all the time. But yeah, no, I like to say that there's improvements everywhere. There always is. I'll never be satisfied with anything I do, and I'm just striving for perfection.
Last one, in terms of improvements, that's great, but in terms of confidence, getting a win over someone like that coming in, that's got to really help you as you get prepared to face that next level of competition.
Yeah, honestly, like, I think Vanessa matches up with quite a lot of the girls in the UFC. Like, outside of that top 10, I think it's a game of margins at the end of the day. It's very slim differences at the end who turns up on the night. So I think to beat Vanessa, really, like I say, is a testament to the level that I'm working at. I'll go away, make those improvements, get back in there, and like I say, I'm very confident that I can step in there against any of these girls.
Thank you. Happy belated and congrats, Violet.
Thank you.
Cory, I read your story about you and your mother on The Athletic. I thought it was beautifully done. I gotta ask, what were her words to you if you've talked to her already about the win?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I did when I got out, obviously, I phoned my parents. They stayed up to watch it. I think it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning back there. So, yeah, I gave them a phone call. They're obviously very happy. Kept them on the edge of their seat as well. This is the first fight that actually my dad hasn't been able to come to. My mum comes to most of them. There was a couple of times where obviously she was fighting on the same night somewhere else. But, it's the first time I've kind of fought without my family there in the crowd. Like I say, they're over the moon for me, and obviously they support me massively. I couldn't be where I am without them. Like they fund everything, they support everything. My dad used to drive me around and sit in the car whilst I was training all day. So yeah, like I say, they're amazing.
I know your mom said she kind of got into the game late to follow you. Do you feel like you might have inspired her to want to make her own Contender Series run?
Unfortunately, my mum's not able to train anymore. She co-mained Cage Warriors. She did some very impressive things with her career, and I think she's happy to kind of take a sit back and just support me and watch me achieve my goals.
With the travel and everything else, obviously you have your team with Uri and everyone else here. Where do you train out of primarily these days with the quarantine and travel?
So for this camp, literally there's nowhere open back home. So we've been improvising. We've got some small group training. My coach back home from PKK Fighters, Jack Mason, he's got his garage, and we've got some rollout mats, and we were just making the best of what we could do. I was still training multiple times a day, just kind of, as you say, we just having to meet up places and just improvise. But whilst we're on the subject of that, I am in the process, as of tomorrow, I'll be moving out to Sacramento full time to train at Team Alpha Male now that I've got my visa.
Recently we saw a victory for Jack Shore, and I don't have to tell you, you're now just the 5th Welsh fighter to be in the UFC. I'm sure you're very proud of that. He said, give Wales 5 years, you're going to see the kind of monsters we're churning out. Was he talking about you?
To be fair, there is a lot of Welsh talent coming up. It's very impressive. Even just the amateur shows, they're very entertaining to watch. And there's some absolute killers coming out of there. So for sure, I completely agree with him. There's going to be a lot of fighters coming through, and hopefully, as you say, there's 5 of us now. So hopefully that will inspire a few more people to step in there and follow the path.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the first Welsh female UFC fighter. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's great. Like you say, everybody loves the title. And like I said, again, I think there's quite a few people coming through in the Welsh scene, so hopefully we get a few more girls come through. Yeah, it's amazing.
Congrats.
Thank you.